or works that the city has worked on so hard in our Main Street area to fulfill. The city has worked very hard to control waste management and the problems that exist due to their landfill that abuts our city on the east side. For years, we've been battling with odors, terrible odors, with signs of water contamination, with rodents, with foul birds, large crows, black and turkey vultures. We have fought with Broward County on expansions of that landfill that was created in 1965, before the city became what it is today. It was a very rural area back then. It was supposed to be closed in 1993. Properties that surround the landfill have a restrictive covenant on their deeds that state the landfill will be closed in 1993. In the early 90s, though, the county decided to do something very innovative and way above what other cities or counties in the country were doing. They decided to go out for a $500 million bond in 1990 to build 2 state-of-the-art waste-to-energy facilities. And what those do is they take all the garbage, all the terrible processable waste that was normally landfilled, and they put it in this incinerator, and they burn it. And the energy that is made by the burning is sold to FP&L at an amount equal to the amount of the tipping fee that is required per ton that goes in. So it's very profitable. It was very profitable. On the outside, after you put the terrible, smelly, protrusible waste, the organic waste, into Wheelabrator, out comes an inorganic inert ash. Doesn't smell, isn't toxic, is 1/10 the volume of normal garbage. So it extends the life of a landfill without the other terrible conditions of landfilling garbage. So that was okay. So they extended the life of the landfill till 1998, given that they were building these 2 waste energy plants, one in the south end of the county, one in the north end of the county. And they kept on extending it and extending it. And as they grew, the cities that were part of the waste energy plant that paid the debt service, all of us, when we paid our garbage bills, paid the debt service on those plants. Broward County, one thing they did do a mistake of when they were doing this is when they built it, they allowed the owners, Wheelabrator, to have ownership of it at the end, even though we had to pay for it. A very, very bad decision. If you look at the other counties that have waste energy plants, Pinellas County, Palm Beach County, they may have other companies like a Waste Management run the facility, or Wheelabrator run the facility, but they remain owners of the facility. They have control of the actual facility. Our county commission at the time did not. And there was some controversy, legal controversy and perhaps some criminal controversy at the time over it. I think one of the commissioners and I don't think it was in this case, but one of the commissioners ended up in jail for some time. Might have been on a different item, but one of the ones that made that decision. Now the debt for those 2 waste energy plants was paid off in full by all the ILA cities that signed the contract and said, we'll pay for this, in July of 2013. At that time, Wheelabrator was allowed, who owns the 2 waste energy plants, to bring in garbage to the plants to make it to capacity. Before it was, they could only bring in waste that would pay the amount the other cities were paying, so a lot of times it was cost prohibitive for them to do that. So they have major contracts with Miami-Dade County, Monroe County, and other cities that aren't part of the ILA to deposit trash in there. Well, in July of last year, we were informed that Waste Management was selling Wheelabrator to a major energy company conglomerate called Energy Capital Partners. 5 people from Waste Management came to visit our commission and me just before a city commission meeting. Actually, it was on the budget. And said, unannounced, not a scheduled meeting, said, we just want to let you know this sale will not change anything. Everything will remain the same. And the reason why they said that is because of July of 2013, the city of Coconut Creek worked hard for 2 years to negotiate a settlement with them because there was some erroneous variances done and rezonings and things like that at the landfill to expand the landfill. They wanted to make it taller, they wanted to expand it wider, and we fought that. So we went into a battle with Broward County, and I won't get into the legal of it, but it's called a Chapter 164 dispute, and we had to get a resolution out of it before it actually went to the court system. We had to try that first. Well, we went into this whole dispute with Broward County. We spent over $170,000 in legal fees. Waste Management said, we will not allow any processable waste that can practicably be removed, because the reason why they put practicably be removed is because when you put in construction and demolition, or you put in some other type of non-processable waste, it might be mixed with some processable waste. So that's why they wanted that word practicably be removed, so that only thing that's going into the landfill is non-odorous waste. And if you notice, not the last few months, but about a year before that, when we made that agreement, there have been no real odors. There have been no crows, no vultures around. It's been pretty good. We noticed a few months ago that the odors were coming back. I called up Broward County Solid Waste Division, and I asked the person in charge, I said, Elliot, I said, is something going on? I smell garbage. I said, Waste Management's not diverting all the processable waste from the landfill into the Wheelabrator plant. And he said, what does it matter? They're going to close down the plant anyway. Now, if they're able to close down that plant, our settlement agreement basically goes by the wayside. And our settlement agreement allowed them to put through a major expansion